Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to Anime King, and today I'm going to be giving you part 8 of What If Naruto Became the New God of Apokolips. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends on your social media platform, and also guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out the brand new episode over on Anime King 2 of What If Naruto was trained by Whis and Beerus to become a god of destruction, and enjoy that guys. And remember, if you're new, yes I indeed have 4 channels which I post What If on every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. So yeah, without further ado or wasting more time, what do you say we jump right into this? Begin now guys. So the last time we left off, Naruto was talking with Supergirl as they were talking about the predicament that they were in. However, she made it clear to him that she didn't want anything to do with him, as she could not justify being a hero and knowing the things that he were doing. He might say the words like he was talking about change and everything, but in his views, all the government leaders and everyone would be, well, taken down from where they were. What about the people that revolt against him? Would he kill them? As Naruto told her that he did not kill innocent people. However, she could not stand for what he was believing in. So she left, making her way, as there could not be anything between them. The clone dispelled as all the information returned back to Naruto on the ship, as he was with Diana. They were talking about their trip going towards the Forgotten Zone. That is when the ship was blasted. It turns out that it was a Green Lantern Corps. The Forgotten Zone was zoned off to anyone from the outside, as they were not supposed to enter, no matter the situation, as it was locked off by the Guardians a very long time ago. The monsters that hailed inside was something very dangerous, and they were not supposed to get out. The Green Lantern Corps, being the protection of the universe, did not allow anyone pass. Sinestro was the one that was there. He was arrogant and cocky, so they had to fight, as Diana was the one that played to not kill them, as she was friend with John Stewart, so she did not want to see Green Lanterns being slaughtered, as she knew that despite their way of doing things, they were trying to bring peace for the universe. So with that, they fought as Sinestro faced off against Naruto. Once he was a distance away, Naruto revealed that he knew everything about Sinestro, as the man was surprised by that, not expecting to hear that from him, as Naruto knew a lot more than he expected. So they fought. What followed was a one-sided shame. Sinestro did not stand a chance against Naruto, as Naruto was merely toying with him, barely using a percentage of his true power, as he fought and knocked down Sinestro. When he arrived, the last remaining warrior, she was powerful, as she was able to remove Lobo's arms and legs, considering the fact that Supergirl got down when Lobo fought her. This Green Lantern was powerful, but she stood no chance, as Naruto made her a deal. He will heal her and her comrade, but they had to take Sinestro and leave. She accepted the deal, as she did not want them to die. Some minutes later, Naruto and Diana parted, as Naruto had left a clone behind to pretend like it was him and Diana, as Lobo placed them back in the ship, believing that they were secured, unaware that they could get free anytime they wanted, as Naruto removed the seal that was on her. Sometime later, Lobo was shocked when the both of them simply appeared, as he thought that he had them in the cells. They want to make us stop though. As they stop, when they found someone attacking someone else. It turns out that a Guardian, a Green Lantern, was being attacked by Red Lanterns, and being brutally beat down until they gave the rookie of the team the job to kill the Green Lantern, as he brought down his ring and destroyed the area. However, the Green Lantern was saved by Naruto, as he stood in mid-air looking down towards them. It turns out that all this time the monster is off. The Forgotten Zone was the robots that were created by the Guardians, who had lost their programming and believed that all life should be exterminated. And they had been locked in here for, well, a very long time by the Guardians. The Red Lanterns were actually fighting them, so in a way, the Red Lanterns were not that bad. However, they feed off rage and chaos, making the Red Lanterns rather violent. The three of them took on Lobo as he was being defeated rather badly, as Naruto asked Diana to step in to test her new powers. However, she made it go on for a bit, as she really didn't like Lobo. However, the Red Lanterns turned towards her, believing that she would be an easy person to defeat. But since her seal was no longer on, Diana was a force to be reckoned with. She also inherited the powers from her father, as she had lightning. She brought down destruction upon them, shocking the Red Lanterns as they were far out of their league. So yeah guys, basically as we left off, you guys can switch across the playstick of yourself, so this way we jump right into this brand new episode. Begin now guys. Lobo was surprised the drones that were giving him a problem Diana had incinerated all of them with their lightning. She wiped out all the drones within an instant. The same drones that were given the main man. Hell, a moment ago. Damn, I really need new and better tech. Lobo thought in shock and awe, unable to believe how much stronger than he imagined this Wonder Woman had become. And it seemed to be a recurring issue. Yes, Earth was still a backwater planet, as far as he was considered, but the potential and willingness and the ability to grow was incredible. He remembered the first time he fought Superman and defeated him, and the second time. It was extremely close, but the third, he was obliterated, and the fourth and the fifth. The Man of Steel got stronger and stronger every time they fought. Seeing how much a Wonder Princess has leveled up made him realize how he needed to up his own training regime, and how much he needed to advance his intellect to develop and gain more advanced technology. Otherwise, he would never catch up with these backwater punks, and the main man cannot afford to have that. As for Diana, as she looked down towards the members, I will ask you one more time, yield now, or bear the consequences of my wrath. Her tone was deadly. The Red Lanterns, they were all looking up, unable to believe the amount of power that she released. Come, Razor, Vian, let us report these filthy invaders to Lord Atrocitus. He will know what to do about the situation. Zelius ordered angrily, as the anger was just a cover for what he truly felt, and that was fear. Fear of this creature that would strike them down. You would have us run with our tails between our legs. That does not sound like a very Red Lantern thing to do, Zelius, Razor said. There was amusement in his tone, as he figured a bit of payback was necessary after all the hell that Zelius had put him through since joining the Red Lantern Corps. Fool! You dare to question me? What do you know? Have you never heard of the term tactical retreat? Huh? Zelius said, as he was right in front of Razor's face. His power ring was flaring as he held back the urge to kill Razor right there and then. The soccer ball shaped man, clearly not appreciating what Razor said. Before you leave, be sure to let this Lord Atrocitus know that we will aid the Red Lantern efforts against the Manhunters, but we will not tolerate senseless murders of innocent life. So says the old god Diana of Themyscira, the goddess of thunder, widely known as Wonder Woman, and the new god Kitsune of Apokolips and Earth, also known as Nathaniel Wilson, the sage god. Diana said out loud, as Naruto scratched the back of his head, wondering when he agreed to something like that. Woman, he thought, as he faced palm. It seems that Diana would not take no for an answer, and even if she was, he could not abandon her, after she came all this way, just to support him. What kind of person would he be then? Blasphemy! How dare you claim to be a god? There is only one god, and his name is Lord Venus was cut off, as Zelius had came behind him and placed a hand around his mouth, stopping him from saying anything and anger in this. Goddess of Thunder, forgive my absolutely stupid and mentally challenged companion, Lady Diana. He is a mere imbecile, unknowing of anything quite whatsoever. We will report your generous offer to Lord Atrocness, and Lord Atrocness, and only he will decide what to do about it, Zelius said as he squeezed harder on Vian, harder and harder as he was angry about the whole situation. Very well, we have our own business to attend to, but as police officers of the Forgotten Zone, I'm sure it wouldn't be hard for you to find us when you have an answer with you. I bid thee a safe journey back to your base of operation. Farewell, my angry warrior, said Diana. We shall see you soon, Zelius said in an ominous tone, as the three of them flew away from the planet as a whole, heading towards their home base, a place known as Ismal. Am I the only one that thought that those last words sounded extremely ominous, said Naruto. He's an angry child. I assume that he always sounds like that, said Diana. She's a bit detached from mortal feelings when she's in her goddess form. She still yet has to assimilate the omniscience of being an actual god, but she will come around with enough training and practice, Naruto thought to himself, as he was just a little concerned. With her willpower, it was only a matter of time before she got a hang of it. However, as Naruto saw the ball-shaped alien flew away, there was so much sinister in his last tone. Something was up. Perhaps so or perhaps not. It really doesn't matter whatever plans they have, sinister or not. You and I will stop them. And that is as certain, said Diana. Fair enough, said Naruto. I think you can relax now though. They have left the sector already. They're in another part of the Forgotten Zone. Naruto spoke clearly to Diana, as she stared at him for what seemed like forever, like she was trying to break down and analyze his very soul. And after a few seconds, divine power receded. The 45 lightning bolts that were still in mid-air fizzled away as the sky cleared up. Her eyes returning back to normal, the lightning that were coursing through her were now gone. As Naruto moved towards her, "You okay?" he asked. "I'm fine," she said. "I just need to get used to it. Being a semi-omnipotent being, it is jarring and mind-alterating. I don't know how you constantly have it on and don't lose yourself in it. But I do feel like I understand my father and the other old gods a lot better now. Like why they did what they did and why they are the way they are. Just remember one thing," said Naruto. "Balance is everything. You are fortunate in that you got to first interact with Amazons, and then with the humans, and after assimilate into a god. It gives you something to balance your divine experience with. It grounds you and gives you a more flexible option that the other gods doesn't have. I suppose I should say that we're both fortunate in that way. I hate to interrupt, but you do realize that our battle with the Red Lantern is not over, right? When the Red Lantern fail to win a planet and voluntarily surrender and co-op, they use physical force to conquer and rule with an iron fist. When all of that fail, then they destroy the entire planet. When the Red Lanterns return, they will drop the Liberator on Colony 12. The Green Lantern spoke up. Liberator. That's a bad thing, said Naruto. Was the liberation for the most part supposed to be a good thing? The Liberators are planet destroyers in the form of large, red, spectral, power robots. The destruction a single one of them can cause is enough to wipe out entire civilizations. And if they should be defeated, they can turn into a bomb that can incinerate the entire planet in a few seconds. The Green Lantern said fearfully. Fear not, Green Lantern comrade. Nathaniel and I will help you face off against the Red Lantern Armada. And we will deactivate or destroy the Liberator if need be, said Diana. As Naruto cleared his throat. Shire, he said. How many people are on this planet exactly? As he looked towards the Red Lantern. I only ask because I can only sense 50,000 life signature on this entire rock, and only 28 of them appear to be sentient form. The Green Lantern was shocked to how advanced and accurate this being ability to detect life signature was. That is accurate, he said to Naruto. Then I believe an evacuation will be more appropriate than fighting the Red Lantern Armada. I suspect that you might not approve, Wonder Woman, but think about it. No life will be lost if we simply evacuate the planet. All life will survive except for the plant life, of course, said Naruto. I understand your concerns, and I do appreciate your way of thinking, but I believe that standing against the Red Lanterns is the only way of dealing with them. Otherwise, they will just go on to liberate more planets, until nothing is left. Diana said, I get it, but there's much that we don't know. Shire told us that the Red Lanterns are the last line of defense against the Manhunters, and their leader lost his entire family, in fact his entire squadron. Yet why? Why does he go around destroying other sectors? Why would he do something like that? Without the Red Lanterns, the Manhunters would have destroyed the entire Forgotten Zone by now. But with them, the Forgotten Zone is still being destroyed anyway, just at a much slower pace. Why is everything happening the way it is? Knowledge is power, Diana. We need to know what is going on before we stick our feet in it. Otherwise, we might just end up making things worse, Naruto said. She looked at him without saying anything for a moment. Alright, fine, she said, as she turned towards the Green Lantern. Do you have any answers for any of Nathaniel's questions, she asked. Atrocious has gone mad with hate and rage for the Guardians. He considered his quest is a noble and justice one, which in a way it is. But the problem is that he deems anyone that refuses to aid him, or anyone that refuses to see things his way, as a traitor, and therefore an ally of the Guardians. At least a potential ally of the Guardians. So his solution is to liberate anyone that refuses to join him. The Green Lantern said, that is arguably the most twisted ideology I have ever heard of. He's definitely gone mad, said Diana. How does he recruit his Red Lanterns? Naruto asked. Here is the thing, Atrocious has saved many planets from the wrath of the Manhunters, but he always seemed to arrive midway through the destruction. My wife and I have a theory. We believe that Atrocious allowed the Manhunters to partially destroy a planet in order to cultivate the emotions of rage, vengeance, and hate against the Hunters and also the Guardians. People who have lost loved ones always feel an insane amount of these emotions, the Lantern said. I see now. So he's letting the Manhunters grow and influence the rage inside of the Forgotten Zone in order to expand his army. I would be impressed if I wasn't so horrified, said Naruto, in awe. What I still don't understand is, how in the heaven could he stomach using robots to destroy planets when his own galaxy was destroyed by robots? That is just something I cannot understand, Diana said, confused. They do not call him Atrocious the Mad God of Rage for nothing, and besides, the Liberator are powered by red spectral energy that he fully controls. There is little chance that it could be made to turn against him. The Lantern said, You know what I don't understand? How you two ingrates get it into your thick heads that you are no longer my captive, and that you can go gallivanting throughout the universe, saving meaningless life. Lobo said angrily as he pointed his universal blaster at the two so-called gods, as he did not believe in the existence of gods whatsoever. The only thing he believed in was a main man getting the job done and making his damn money. I have just about had enough of you, said Diana. Her tone was dangerous as she looked towards Lobo. No, Diana, said Naruto, he's right. Much to her confusion. Wasn't he tired of being bossed around by Lobo? Wasn't he tired of him getting into their business? We made a deal with him. It would be dishonorable to go back on our word. But do not worry. I will bring in someone to help these people in our stead. As Naruto started to chant what seemed to be a spell, Diana was taken aback. She did not know that he had an affinity for magic whatsoever. As the sky ripped open above them, a black portal that seemed like a gaping mouth opened up. A beautiful yet terrifying woman came out of the portal, her glowing green eyes and red hair. The Queen of the Black Abyss is honored to be at the service of our great God and Savior. Tell me, my master, who would you have me kill for you? I will bath in their blood, and their screams shall revert all around the underworld. The beautiful redhead said. She seemed happy that she was summoned by her master. Great Queen of the Black Abyss, in trenches, I would like you to meet my friends. The blue guy, Lobo, is the main man. The green one next to me is Shire, of Sector 517. And this is the lovely Lady Diana, Goddess of Thunder, said Naruto, as he casually introduced the Enchantress like she was a normal girl from high school. She looked at them. It is not unpleasant to meet you all. You all must somewhat have something special to show if Master consider you all to be deemed worthy of standing in his presence. Enchantress said. That was her version of being polite. Nathaniel, who is this woman? Diana said. There was some discomfort in her tone. A valued and honored comrade in training. She lacks nothing in the ways of skill and power. Her only weakness is her lacking of understanding in the complexity of mortal life. In that respect, I have taken to mentoring and grooming her so she can fit and blend in into the mortal plane. Saving Colony 12 from Liberators will be her next task. Of her character and her development, if she passes this test, she'll be very close to graduating, so to speak, said Naruto. Did you just admit to gambling with people's life in a way to test your protege? Diana asked. Her tone sounded a bit disappointed. I wouldn't have summoned her if I did not believe in her 100%. Trust me, Enchantress is more than capable of handling herself, and she will protect Colony 12 from the Red Lanterns and the Manhunters. Of that, I have no doubt, said Naruto, as Diana looked between the both of them, scrutinizing the woman. Okay, if you really believe in her that much, then so will I. At very least, I'll believe in you, said Diana, as she gave him a genuine smile. Despite not seeing it, she could tell that he was smiling behind the mask. Tuh, I think I'm gonna puke, Lobo said in disgust. Oh shush, just be glad that Nathaniel is an honorable god, Diana said, leaving the rest of the threat unsaid. If Naruto was not this honorable, many people would have been long dead, especially Lobo. I was hoping that we would have been working side by side, Enchantress said. She was not pleased by the interaction that she just saw between Diana and her master. We will be working side by side once you have graduated. In case you have not noticed, I have been grooming you to be my second in command in the Akatsuki. Enchantress' eyes widened as she did not expect that level of trust from her master, the faith that he was putting in her. What's Akatsuki? Diana asked. Story for another time, said Naruto. Lady Enchantress, I'm going to transpire to you memories of what has happened up to this point. It should give you an idea of what you should do and what I want you to do. If you find yourself in a position where you do not know what to do, then look to Shire for guidance. He is a good man with a good moral compass. I vouch for him, said Naruto. As you wish, master. Fear not. The Colony 12 mongrels will be safe and sound upon your return. I will annihilate both the Manhunters and the Red Lanterns, she promised. Actually, we are going for a more elusive strategy. War is not what we desire, said Naruto as he allowed her to get his memories. She swept them up rather greatly, happy that she was close with at least touching and sharing his memories. Meanwhile, Naruto was wondering if he should bring backup for Enchantress or not. Yes, she was extremely powerful, but at the same time, he had no idea how powerful these Liberators were and how many Red Lanterns there will be. As for the leader of it all, Atrocious, the mad god of rage, he had to be something great to be the leader of the Red Lantern Corps, and not to mention, perhaps stronger than the Liberators, who were said to be able to wipe out the planet. Would Enchantress alone be able to triumph against those odds? Well, the Green Lantern was there, but he did not seem to have that much combat experience. Maybe that should be one of his goals before leaving the Forgotten Zone. Give some combat training to the Green Lanterns of Colony 12. Right now, though, he had to go. He would have liked to leave a Shadow Clone behind to help them, but he was going to go up against two very dangerous persons, and he was wary about splitting his power. He had to leave a very strong Shadow Clone behind when he had left Earth, in case something bad happened when he was not there, so that already split his power. Normally it would not be an issue, but he was going to be fighting the genius son of the Sky Father and the General of Fury, Apokolips. Well, who could blame him in wanting to conserve some of his energy? Back on Earth, I am told that you called for me. To what do I owe the pleasure of being summoned by the Great One? Do I finally get to go on my first mission? Slade said, in a tone that was neither respectful or disrespectful, which in a way was its own form of disrespect. However, it was hard to prove. He was wearing his full gear without the mask. He was always ready after all, especially now that he was surrounded by assassins all over. The boy in this picture, who is he? The Great One, also known as Ra's al Ghul, said in a stern tone. He's a tall and daunting man, with green eyes, black hair, and a long black mustache, and big wild black eyebrows. Majority of his clothing was covered by a green cloak with high collar buttons. He's wearing a black vest underneath with golden hems, a golden sash and a white, and black pants, and knee-high black boots. Oh, for heaven's sake, this shit again, Slade said. You will monitor your tone, and you will think carefully before you address the Great One, or you will suffer the consequences, Sensei said with a grave tone. Sensei is Ra's al Ghul most loyal acolyte, and a very dangerous high-status member, and as his name suggested, he's a sensei and trainer of almost all the League of Shadow members. Great confidant of Ra's al Ghul. He's an old light-skinned man with white hair and dark brown eyes, completely bald on top of his head, the rest of his hair extended down towards his shoulder. He has a white mustache. He has a large scar on his chest that extended towards his forearm. Consequence is my foot. We had an agreement. I will join the shadows and serve loyally, and in exchange you will stay out of my personal life. More importantly, you will leave my past as it is. I thought you were a man of honor, but you are broken your oath the moment I step foot here, Slade said angrily. You are right. Father did make a pact with you, but I did not. So I asked, who is the boy in this picture? What happened to him? Where is he now? Talia al Ghul, daughter of the demon Axe, or rather demanded. She is a beautiful woman with shoulder-length red hair and green eyes. She was in a black combat suit that accentuated her voluptuous figure. What does it matter? He's dead, Slade said angrily. Of course, the boy in the photo was Nathaniel Wilson, Slade's biological son, firstborn, and also known as Naruto Uzumaki. The picture was Naruto in his second year of working with Slade, when he was only 12 years old. Naruto's face thankfully could not be seen behind the mask, and Slade was glad for that. But Slade was in the photo as well. You have told me what happened to him and therefore answer one of my questions. But there were two questions, were they not? Talia asked. Slade asked himself, why was he tolerating this disrespect? Why the hell was he even in this cult in the first place? Oh yeah, I wanted my own army to help my children, to take over the world, and to fight off Darkseid when he eventually invaded the Earth. Slade thought sarcastically, as he wondered whose bright idea this was to begin with, until he remembered it was his. Why is this shit even important? What part of he's dead don't you understand? Said Slade. The part that you got it somehow in your mind that death is of any consequences to the Great One, Talia said. I suggest that you start cooperating with her, Terminator. This is not an argument that you can win, nor is it a fight that you can win, if that is what is on your mind. Your reputation precedes you, but you are treading dangerous waters even for you, Bane said, with an accent and a tone that made him sound like he was a creep, and also a wise sage. Bane is a very big muscular man, with a bald head and a respirator that covered his mouth. A black wrestling mask is under the respirator, as he's dressed in a black battle combat suit. He has a fuel injection on his upper body, said fuel containing a substance known as venom that boosts his physical abilities to a monstrous level. As Slade sighed, he was my legitimate son, a genius prodigy that had the potential to surpass me by miles. But he died along with the Uzumaki ninja clan, and unfortunately his mother. I had his body cremated because I didn't want anyone experimenting on his body, Slade said, as his expression was a hurt one, but that was only because he was mourning the loss of the Uzumaki clan, not Naruto, who was still alive and well. As the place was quiet for a while, until Roz spoke up. You have my sincere condolences, Deathstroke, and my apologies as well. But you see, prior to this boy, you have never taken on an apprentice before, nor did you take one after. The boy passed away. I had to know what was so special about him, why you would take him under your wing when you did not even take your own legitimate son under your wing. Speaking of which, where is the little rascal again? I only asked because I hear that he disappeared from his boarding school and has not been seen since, Raz said. There was suspicion in his tone. Slade supposed that he should know better. Raz was not an idiot. If anything, he was the idiot that thinking that Raz would not do his background checking first after all. Raz seemed to have the express desire to groom him into being his next successor, so of course he would check in on his past and everything about him. He himself would have never trusted a mercenary, even after doing his check, so why would he think that Raz would be so foolish? What on earth was he smoking when he came up with his plan? He's safe and sound, I can assure you of that. Joseph has made it clear that he does not want anything to do with me. In fact, he came very close to killing me. I don't think I've been that close to death ever in my life. However, I survived, and I have to find a way to move on without him. He seemed to be doing fine without me, which is all a father can truly hope for. Deathstroke did not raise no punk. Let's just leave it at that, said Slade. That was the most honest he could reply, without giving away any vital information. You allow that child to dictate terms to you, and you want to be my successor, Rod said. Last time I checked, it was you who wanted me to be your successor, and I still had no such desire. What I do desire is for this meaningless conversation to end, and for you to give me a job. If not, I have wasted my time to join this league, Slade said irritably. What do you think, Damien? What would you do in the face of this insolence if you were the demon head? Rod said, as he looked toward his godson, 13-year-old Damien, short dark hair, and golden armor, black and gold to be exact. It seemed to be fit for someone of royalty, with a black and gold cloak around his back. Nothing. Deathstroke is more of an ally than an acolyte, and a leader and an opposite of a follower. Use him accordingly, and treat him as he treats us. If he has secrets you want to keep away from the league, then the league will keep secrets away from him as well. No seat at the big boy table for him, Damien said, as the idea started to brew in Slade's mind. To what Damien just implied, the kid seemed to imply that because he was already established and he had too much of a reputation and ego, Ross could not convert him to his ways. So Slade was thinking that maybe he needed to do his own recruiting for the league. Recruit young and upcoming talents, groom them and mold them into loyal soldiers dedicated to him, and use them to take over the league when they come of age. It will be a lot of work and hard as well, but it could be done. And he will do it. In fact, he had no choice now that he gotten himself so deep in this league bullshit. Your response is tolerable at best, but without merits. You have much to learn, young one. As for you, Deathstroke, you will begin training with Sensei 6 AM sharp in the morning. I know you have your skills. I know that you have your strengths and your accomplishments. But the second that you believe that you have nothing more to learn is the moment that you begin to decline. Take this from someone who has been alive for over 700 years, said Raz. 6 o'clock in the morning then. Slade then turned and left, not even waiting for the Great One to dismiss him. Why do you tolerate his insolence, father? He's powerful, yes, but he's only one man, and we are the League of Shadows, Talia said. Patience, my daughter. Slade is not the kind of man that you run through with your blade, but rather he's the kind of man that you allow to fall on his own sword. Raz said in a cryptic way. I know that look. Father, what have you done? Talia said. Me? Nothing, of course. Slade Wilson and I had an agreement. Neither I or any League member get to touch his family or any close associate, Raz said, with a sinister glint in his eyes. But nothing was said about having someone else touch his family, Talia said, her eyes widened in realization. What have you done, grandfather? Damien asked. Nothing that does not need to be done, young Damien. If Slade the Deathstroke Wilson believed that he's above my approach, then let him learn the hard way what it means to be under the iron fist of Ra's al Ghul. Raz trailed off with a sinister grin, sending a tiny tremor down Damien's spine, although he did his best to conceal it so his grandfather did not see. So are you actually going to tell us your plan or not? Talia asked, having grown tired of her father's ways when it comes to answering questions. I would rather show you, and I will. As soon as Raz trailed off, a device in his pocket started to beep. As soon as I get the signal, which I just did. Now come, all of you, follow me, he said, as he headed toward his personal library, everyone following behind him, everyone being his second-in-command, and his personal bodyguard, Sensei, his daughter, Talia, her son, Damien, and Talia, personal bodyguard, and second-in-command, Bane. Upon reaching the library, Raz pulled a book from the shelf, a book that was titled Mystery of the Demon. He opened me to a specific page as it was the right button. He pressed it, and the bookcase shifted aside, revealing an entryway. He placed the book back as he made his way, as they followed behind him. This is quite the anticlimax, grandfather, said Damien as he looked towards a very basic room. It was large, but there was nothing. Is it, said Raz, as he picked up a remote and pressed it. The screen came down to show 15 different locations. It seemed to be some sort of military hideout. What is this? And who is that woman on the center screen? The one that is beat up and tied up, Talia said. That, my dear daughter, is Adeline Wilson, Slade, Wilson's wife and mother of his mysterious missing son. Raz said. You kidnapped his wife, Damien said in surprise and confusion. By Raz's behavior, because from what he taught him this seemed most dishonorable, and went against everything that he taught him. Pay attention, won't you, Damien? Have I not taught you better? Does that look like the League of Assassins to you? As he looked closer, no, it looks like the Cobra organization. You hire them to do your dirty work, Damien said, as he still did not really see the difference. I did not. I merely told a colleague and friend of mine about the situation, and he told an ally of his, who took it upon himself to take action. No orders are given to anyone, Raz said. Do I have to ask who this colleague is? Damien said with a small frown. You do not. This is the moment that I reveal to you our position in the world stage. I have joined the organization of like-minded people. The name of the organization is The Light, Raz said. The Light? Said Talia. Yes, The Light. All of the members of The Light are equal partners, dedicated to a mutual and common goal, that being the evolution and elevation and the advancement of human potential, or rather, Earth potential. The Light, to that end, will use science, magic, metaphysics, technology, bioengineering, whatever is necessary to achieve our goals. The goal of making Earth the strongest and most powerful planet in our universe, so that we may take our place at the top of the universe, Raz said calmly and patiently. Everyone was surprised at the sheer magnitude of his scope, how far he intended to bring things. Who are these other members? Talia said. It had to be some powerful people if they were ever going to do something like that. The structure is as follows, and listen carefully because I will not repeat myself. Ra's al Ghul, the demon head and master of the underworld and League of Shadows. Vandal Savage, as Primus Pierce, and leader of the Immortal Legion. Ra's said only to be cut off by Talia. Immortal Legion? I have never heard of such an organization, she said. The Legion of Immortals is Vandal Savage, secret organization. It comprised of himself, Black Adam, who as you know is an immortal god, a woman known as Knockout, who is a new god of planet Apokolips. Then there's Cobra, otherwise known as Lord Naga, who has obtained immortality through ancient mystical sacrificial ritual, and General Immortus, a pseudo immortal, who used a scientific formula to extend his life, with an army of followers and a large arsenal of military weapons. Vandal also has the Shade and Cheetah as members of the organization, and both are immortal. Shade due to powers he has access to because of his connection with the Shadow Realm, and Cheetah because she's the herald of a feline goddess. Vandal personal bodyguards, assistants, and confidants are his two daughters, Cassandra Savage and Scandal Savage, neither of which had yet been confirmed to be immortal. Ross explained as he pressed another button showing all the members. Commit these names and faces to your memory. As we get closer to our mutual goal, members of different factions of the light will have to work together. Ross instructed them. Impressive. One of his subordinates, Black Adam, has an entire country behind him. Another, Cobra, has an international military syndicate behind him. And General Immortus has his own personal military army. This Vandal must be special to win the loyalty of these great men, especially if he's the Primus Inter Pares of the Light. Damien said thoughtfully, he is a person I respect and dare I say admire. Vandal is many times older than me. Everyone in the world is a child to me, and yet I am nothing but a child to him. Having spoken on numerous occasions, I can say without hesitation that he is the wiser. He is worthy of our respect, and working with him is both a privilege and an honor. Ross said, as his subordinates were shocked. None of them ever heard him speaking with such high praise for someone else before, as the place was a bit silent after that. So, who else is a member of the Light that we should know about, my lord? Sensei asked, trying to know more and trying to get rid of the awkwardness that was now permeating through the air. The Brain, master of science and technology, and leader of the Brotherhood of Evil. His acolytes are, for the better word, a talking ape, known as Mr. Mallow, who is also his right-hand man and confidant, and another talking ape, known as the Ultra-Humanite, that used to be a human but was a genius, with a body illness and decided to transplant his brain into an albino gorilla. There is also Laura, aka Madame Rogue, a skilled metahuman assassin that is so good that she would fit right in with League of Shadows. Ross said as he took a pause so they could digest the information. He then carried on. The others are Garwox, the Decimator, a green alien with an advanced technology weapon. And then we have Warp, a metahuman with a teleportation ability. And finally Angela Hawkins, aka Phobia, a telepathic supervillain loyal to the Brotherhood of Evil. As Ross pressed the remote showing everyone that he was talking about. Next he said, the Brotherhood of Magic, after giving them time to digest and commit all of the members' names to their minds. Their leader is Clarion, the Lord of Chaos, aka Witch Boy. He is literally a Lord of Chaos, the opposite of Dr. Fate, who is a Lord of Order. His brother consists of Abracadabra, Wotan, Destiny, Felix Faust, the Hat, the Wizard, and Black, Prior Thorn. All of them are extremely powerful magicians. Even Kadabra, that use futuristic technology that mimic magic, is still powerful in its own right. Roz pressed the button as she showed all of the faces. We also have a master of the business world, Lex Luthor, who owns multiple multi-billion-dollar businesses. His funds and businesses facilities have served the light greatly, including his public influence. His noteworthy subordinates are Mercy Graves, a cybernetic enhanced assassin who is worthy of a League of Shadows. Eve Tessmacher, another cybernetic enhanced assassin who would fit right in with us. Pamela Ferry, aka Medigear, who is a human woman bonded and in control of a very powerful alien parasite that live within her. And Dr. Mark Desmond, aka Blockbuster, a former cadmium scientist that mutate himself with genetic splicing with alien DNA. Ross concluded his explanation as he showed them the photos of the people that he was talking about. I was under the impression that Lex Luthor hated aliens, or their control over the human population, Damien said. Lex Luthor is a complicated man, but Vandal and I were able to open his eyes to the grey area. He is still a work in progress, but suffice to say, he has learned not to see things only in black and white. He is adopting a more flexible approach for the greater good of humanity. The next is Count Warner Vertigo of Vidatala, also known as Count. He's a master of metahumans. Dr. Light, Atomic Skull. Hunter Zolomon, aka Zoom, a speedster like the Flash. And the Weather Wizard, a metahuman with the power to control the weather. Last but not least, Sam Scary, otherwise known as Mirror Master. The name of Count Vertigo organization is a High Evolutionary. Just how big is this organization? How many members do we have to commit to memory? Damien asked impatiently. Just one more. Master of Politics and Supreme Ruler of Bialia, Queen Bee. As Damien saw the members came up on the stream, there were so much of them. To think that his grandfather was already this far, with plans that he had no idea about. I feel so much smaller and less important now that I know that the league is just one cog in a bigger wheel. But perhaps that's a good thing. It gives me an idea of how much I need to grow and improve, and how much I need to achieve in this world, said Damien, with such a wise and mature perspective. And the amount of raw talent you have, you are well on your way to achieving all your desires, my beloved son, Talia said with a proud smile. Indeed you will. You and I will make sure of it, and so will Roz trail off. The screen fizzled in front of them, as Jeffrey Berg, aka Cobra, who is known as Lord Naga in the organization. Cobra is very tall, towering over majority of the people. His eyes are red with black rings around them. He has high cheekbones. Coupled with his muscular build, he's a rather intimidating figure. His skin is extremely pale, almost grayish. His head is completely bald, but only when he took off his cape that covered his body, with a gigantic yellow cobra on the back of it. Cobra, has there been any development, said Roz? We are under attack by a metahuman hit squad. There is one who is not a metahuman though, but given her skill in combat she might as well be. I believe you know her as Sandra Wusan, who also go by the name Lady Shiva. Based on body language and dialogue, it seems like she's a sub-commander of this metahuman unit. Only the sub-commander, Lady Shiva. Who is the commander then? Ross asks. Joseph Wilson, Slade Wilson's son. He has adopted the name Jericho. That is what his subordinate has been calling him. He is a very powerful metahuman, possibly the most powerful I ever laid my eyes on. Even more powerful than Manchester Black. Cobra explained in a very serious tone. And you are sure that he's in charge of this unit? Any idea who they are? Raz asks. My men have taken to call them the Royal Flush Unit. Their members, apart from Jericho and Shiva, are wearing black and gold uniforms, resembling a pack of cards. Ace is a girl who also has similar psychic powers but lesser compared to Jericho. 10. As superhuman durability and super strength, Jack has elasticity and shape shifting. Queen has what appear to be control over metal, and King can control fire and plasma energy. They are decimating all of my men, even with their genetic mutations. Do you know what organization they belong to? Ross said, hearing the grave tone in Cobra's voice. There was an organization one of my spies got a lead on. If I'm not mistaken, it's known as Hive. He had reported to me about its potential existence, but soon after, he was erased along with all evidence. We haven't been able to get a lead since then. I think that Jericho belonged to that organization, and by the look of things, and based on the hunch I have, I think he's a high-ranking official. He's also well trained. His father must have taught him well. I see, said Raz. Tell me, Cobra, is there another boy there? He would be around 20 years old, wearing a demonic looking fox mask. No such person has arrived here, said Cobra. Slade said that he was his legitimate child, which means that Adeline is not his mother. If we want him to show, we will have to kidnap his mother, who is dead, so that makes things very difficult, said Damien, as he showed that he also did not believe Deathstroke about his firstborn being dead. My grandson make a valid point. However, you have done well, Cobra. This Jericho sounds most impressive indeed. Slade said that he has a recent encounter with his son and almost died. That means he knows about his son's organization and his position and such. He knows about the rival organization, and yet he did not say anything about it. He has broken his oath to me, and now all bets are off, Ross said, anger in his tone. They are almost upon me. I must go before him too, caught up in the crossfires. The video of the invasion has been recorded and sent to you. Watch it at your own leisure. Cobra out. Cobra took off his communicator as he took out a mother box, as he boomed you out of there. What now? Said Damien. Now we watch. Ross said. I'll get the popcorn, said Damien, as Ross ignored his grandson's childish retort. As he sat down and watched the recording, he believed that Slade, first son, was out there alive. As he wanted to know why was Slade hiding this, he figured that it was something important, as he had no idea what he was digging up, no idea what he was going to provoke, no idea that his little organization was going to face the wrath of the most dangerous man in the entire multiverse very soon. But guys, if you ain't subscribed right here, if once the next person do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification as they posted. Remember, share to all of your friends in social media platform, and don't forget to go ahead and check out the other series, and I hope you guys enjoy each and every one of them. So without further ado, I'm Nathaniel. See you guys soon. Peace.